Hi, so this is my review of the Vernee Apollo Lite that I bought from gearbest.com. I bought it for about $240 at the start of December. It was shipped within about a week on the 6th of December, and it arrived in Australia from, I believe, the Netherlands in about a month and a bit. So I think it was on the 4th of January. So that it makes it a bit outside the 20-day expected delivery time, but that's forgivable because it was over New Year's and Christmas. Firstly, I'll start with some points about the phone that I just find satisfactory, neither a pro or a con. Mostly the fingerprint sensor it's a bit of a toy. It works, but it's not the best. Maybe works 1 out of 5 times at the best. So it sometimes locks you out of the phone when you use it. Also the camera's pretty good. It's better than what I'm recording on now. It just gets quite grainy when it's in low light conditions, but other than that, it's pretty good. Like, for $240, it's very good. Pros: the screen is really good. It's big. It's just really full HD, great quality. So I'll try the fingerprint sensor. So on the second try, but usually it's probably on the fourth. So yeah, it's just very sharp when you watch videos. It's really good. Good colors. It doesn't have much of a range of brightness, but that's alright. I'll show you that. So it's halfway. That's the lowest level of brightness. And full brightness. Yeah. It doesn't come with any bloatware really, so you have to install everything from scratch, but it just comes with the basics like internet, camera and gallery, all that kind of stuff, which is really good. Another pro about the phone is the metal backing. This is plastic on the ends, but the metal backing is pretty good. And the phone, I think its probably main strength is the power. It's just really fast, lots of RAM. Doesn't struggle or lag with anything. It's been really good playing games as well. Really fast, and it's really modern. It's quite thin. Yeah, it looks like a really good modern phone, like an expensive phone, like an iPhone or something like that. It just looks really good. Now the cons of it, like the negative points, are the buttons. These buttons, they rattle around when you shake the phone, and they just feel like a cheap plastic. So I'd be careful with them. You don't want to break them. Also, the SIM trays, or the micro SD card you can put in there as well, or the nano SIM card, and just the micro SIM card in there. To open them, they're a bit. You have to be pretty careful and make sure you hit the button inside there, otherwise you might jam it or break it, because they're a bit cheap as well. Front-facing camera's pretty good. Also, another thing that's not so great are the speakers. They do the job, but there's no bass really. So overall, they're pretty good, but don't expect any great sound. They'll just be good for listening to audiobooks, a bit of music, that kind of stuff, watching YouTube videos. Earphone jack. When I got the phone, it came with an extra screen protector. I already had one on it, and some wipes, and a user's manual. This Australian power adapter, the charger USB cable with USB-C, and it all came in this nice box, which looks really nice actually. You can see what's there. And something that was pretty bad about this is this is really cheap plastic, so you probably want to invest in another adapter, because I wouldn't trust leaving this plugged in all night. It'd probably catch fire if you left it. And when you plug it into here, when you plug it in and you just leave it on a wall charger, it sticks right out, so it puts a lot of tension on here, so you probably want to stick it in this way into a power point. The charging cable, the USB-C here did not fit into the port, so I had to buy a new charging cable that cost me $25, and that was the cheapest one. So I hope yours works. I've seen some people's does, but this one didn't. So I'll try it out with another phone or something and see if it works. Also, something you should be cautious of is this frequencies that the phone can receive. Because when I first bought it, I looked at the frequencies, and they run in Australia. They have those frequencies that this phone picks up, but it's different carriers or service providers use different frequencies. So even though the one that this phone picks up was from that they use in Australia, my SIM carrier did not use it, so I could only use 4G and I couldn't make calls on 3G. So I had to change carrier. But other than that, you should be fine. So if you can't make calls, it's because you can't pick up the correct 3G signal. So you need to check your carrier's band frequencies or whatever it's called. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about the phone. Out of 10, I would rate the phone, for the price that it's at, $240. I would say, a good 8 if they could fix up these buttons and the trays on the side, and maybe not have this camera sticking out so that it rests on it. If they could just make that smooth or something like that, then I'd give it a 9 out of if also this USB charger worked, I would definitely give it a 9 or a 10 out of 10 for the price. Just in general, if you compare it to iPhone or Galaxy S7, you'd probably rate about a 6, because it's got the power, it's got the screen, but it doesn't have the sound, the fingerprint. The camera's pretty average, and build quality is low, but the power and the screen are pretty good. As you can see here with the screen, it's not black, so the black doesn't match. It's pretty good, but you can definitely tell there's a screen there. So that's all I have to say. If you want to pick up this phone, you're best getting it off GearBest. And I've heard a lot of people say that they've had trouble with them, but I didn't have any trouble. It's just a bit hard to contact them if you want to, if you have any problems, because you have to go through, you basically just have to type to them. You can't call them, and you can't go to a physical shop, so that's the only problem. Also, their English is not too great, so overall my dealings with GearBest, out of 10, I would say 7. So the business went well, I could use PayPal, nothing went wrong, I could contact them, but there's definitely improvements they could make. But that's what you get when you buy a Chinese phone from a Chinese company. Don't expect top quality and support. That's all I have to say.